High FM, your station of choice since 2008.
We started talking a little bit earlier, really quite horrible news that a Republican Senator Lindsey Graham passed away very suddenly in the United States. That was Saturday evening, soon after his trip back from the Ukraine, and it has, of course, caused some rumor, some speculation. We're going to be just talking about a few different things now with David May, and he is, of course, an analyst, a senior analyst at the Foundation for the Defense of Democracies. David, a very good morning or very good evening to you. Thanks for staying up to chat to us. I hope you're well.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So first of all, can we just find out if there's any more information available as to the cause of death of Senator Lindsey Graham?
Far be it from me to be a medical expert, but based on the reporting, it seems it was a heart disease-related incident, so something like a heart attack. He had been complaining to an aide, saying that he wasn't feeling well, who recommended that he go seek immediate medical attention, and he said that he would do so only after going on the Meet the Press, I believe. So he wanted to continue doing his job and reaching out to the American people, and didn't take care of the health situation that he had. So it seems pretty straightforward and very tragic and sad passing.
We do know that there was speculation, the Iranians, of course, saying that they wanted him dead. The fact that there was this group that claimed it yesterday made me think that definitely they had nothing to do with it. It just seemed a little opportunistic, but that does seem to be the case. What does it mean now in a practical sense for the Republicans? Because we also know that Senator Mitch McConnell isn't well. How does this impact on the strength of the Republican Party?
Yeah, that's a very important point to note. So currently, if all senators are present, then it would be a 53-47 majority for the Republicans, but we just mentioned the passing of Senator Lindsey Graham and the health condition of Mitch McConnell. So that brings it down to 51-47, and then that requires unanimity among the Republicans to maintain a majority. And there's a few senators that aren't as consistent in voting along party lines. So that is a problem. That is a concern. Though in terms of replacing Senator Graham, so it now goes to the governor of South Carolina to appoint a replacement in the interim, and there's no set deadline on when that happens. And once that happens, or if it does or doesn't happen, either way, in July will be the primaries for the Republican Party to elect its representative to compete in November for the elections, and Senator Graham's seat is actually up for election. They have a 6-year cycle, so every 2 years is a different set of 33-ish senators.
Sorry, just to be clear, so his would have been up for re-election in any event in November, right?
Yes.
Right,
yes,
but except the fact that he was very prominent and likely to win it. It would have been an easier win, or one that the Republicans could have counted on, I imagine.
Yes, yeah, exactly. I mean, this is a pretty heavily Republican state, and so it seems likely that a Republican would have won. But even these days, it's unclear that a Republican is necessarily going to agree with all of the policies that the majority in the party are putting forward. Within the Republicans, there's a strong segment of politicians who are, they would call themselves restrainers or something else. Other people would call them isolationists, that don't want Americans to get involved elsewhere in the world. Senator Graham was very much on the opposite end of that spectrum. He was very much in favor of the U.S. Putting forward a strong foreign policy. And so now the concern is who replaces him. One of the front runners might be more along the restraint or isolationist camp.
So how does that work? Does somebody nominate, or do they put themselves forward and there's an internal vote within the Republican Party in order to see who is the person who stands?
So the candidates, as far as I understand, they put themselves forward. They file to run for election under the party, and then there's based on the top contenders, there's a vote that they have to achieve some type of threshold to be put on the ballot, and then there's a primary among the Republicans to determine who will be their representative, and so that will start in July.
So, from what I'm understanding, you're saying that because it's a Republican state, really quite a stronghold, the likelihood is that the Republicans won't lose the representation of the senator in November for this position, but within the party, it could be a challenge for Trump with regard to his international approach.
Yes, so that part's true. I would just note that even though it's likely that Senator Graham's will be replaced by another Republican, any other Republican won't have the same experience. Senator Graham had decades of experience. He was not just not only did he have the experience, he was a leader. He got things done. He was from one of the old guard who would reach across the aisle. He had friends among the Democrats, and he would engage in bipartisanship that unfortunately is a lot less common these days. And he was a leader, especially when it comes to sanctions on Iran, pushing back against Russia and supporting Israel. So it's not just anyone can replace that kind of leadership. He was a leader, and so that kind of experience and leadership will be missed.
Right. Let's just talk for a moment about Mitch McConnell, Senator Mitch McConnell. What is the situation there?
Yeah, that seems a little less certain. He's certainly not the first U.S. member of Congress to have some type of health situation that they were initially not keen to disclose. And so it seems that I believe in June he took a fall and hasn't been able to perform his duties as senator since then. They've been trying to dispel rumors or trying to show that he is recovering, but it seems that one is a lot less straightforward than the death of Senator Graham. There's a lot of speculation as to his capabilities, his faculties, and concern that he's not going to be able to return to office.
So that is also obviously a problem for the Democratic Party. It is fascinating that both the Democrats and for the Republican Party, both the Republicans and the Democrats are having these internal struggles. Have we seen these types of splits historically within both parties playing out as they are, almost simultaneously?
Yeah, no, so it's definitely very interesting that it's happening simultaneously. There had been previous iterations, especially on the Republican Party. There was the Tea Party that was a little more extreme than the Republican Party, and then there on the Democrats side there was the Squad that took over for a little bit in terms of capturing people's attention. But now but those kind of happen a little less simultaneous than what we're seeing right now. There's a reluctance to adhere to party leadership. There's also a certain type of reward given to extremism, both on the Republican side and on the Democratic side. So both sides are engaging in that kind of extremist rhetoric that prevents bipartisanship and prevents actions from taking place, because when people cleave to their corners, it's a lot harder to get things done in the middle.
The nature of the world is that the extreme left, the extreme right always garner a lot more attention, which means it's quite difficult to understand for us what the significance is of these extreme sides. Do we have a sense of how powerful they might be? Are they a minority, or are they pushing more and more towards the center?
So on the Republican side, there hasn't been as much to confirm one way or the other, but on the Democratic side, we've seen some pretty extreme candidates winning against incumbents and against other. There was the class of politicians endorsed by the mayor of New York City, Mamdani, and several of those candidates won against the more centrist candidates. So I think we're seeing that in terms of the success on the Democratic side, rewarding that kind of extremism, and so it will be left to be seen in terms of November, when the American elections are, how well they fare on the national stage. But there's a cause for concern in terms of extremism winning out.
Indeed, there is. And now, David May, thank you as always. Thank you for staying up to chat to us, and for bringing us, and certainly bringing me, such clarity, because it certainly helps me try and understand what is happening in the US and in this absolutely critical area.